Leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll. Hit and miss. Now you counting stars. Should've practiced more. Should've hit the mask. Get out there more. Claim that you're the best. You gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy. Is you real or what? Talking way too much. World come. Back sports. Talking way too much. World come. Back sports. Talking way too much. World come. Back
Yo, big shout out to the hottest chat in the MF and game. A-side official, no negotiation needed, period. You already know WCS is the first in the MF and building. Salute. It's Friday. Of course, you know, the streets seem a little dull. You know what I'm saying? Not too much chatter going on except for the same topics. This is not a heavy boxing weekend, but we got the UFC 307. You know what I'm saying? We got some mixed martial arts on deck. Yes, sir. Heavy card. We got some legends on the card. We got the one and only Alex Pereira. You know what I'm saying? 2-division world champion. He's going in there against the one and only Khalil Roundtree. Shout out to Geeky TV on deck. What's good? Sticker Boys Fishing and Sports. What's good? Salute. Appreciate y'all both pulling up. Let's get right down to the nitty. So I want to start this off by highlighting, you know, one of the well-known champions, good friend, Paul Williams. I just want to read this article, man, in case those of you that forgot who he was. You know what I'm saying? I want to give a big shout out to Team Punisher. Blessed by the best. You know what I'm saying? That's one of his slogans. He was recently up there, you know, getting some recognition in Atlantic City, along with some other fighters. So let's take a little stroll. Sergio Martinez, if those of you that followed these two, Sergio Martinez and Paul Williams, they fought twice. They was 1-1. They would never have an opportunity to fight for a trilogy because Paul Williams ended up having an almost fatal motorcycle accident. He survived, but not without permanent paralysis that prohibited him to ever walk again. It says Sergio Martinez and Paul Williams embraced years on from their Atlantic City fights. This is via boxingscene.com. It says former rivals Paul Williams and Sergio Martinez met for the first time since their two fights at Atlantic City Boxing Hall of Fame last weekend. The event, which is becoming one of the boxing's annual must-attend attractions, saw the fighters reunite and embrace 15 years on from Martinez edging Williams by a majority decision in their first bout. They said 15 years from Martinez edging Williams by a majority decision in their first bout. So what does that say to WCS, right? Let me go back up here. So in case y'all know, this is Sergio Martinez we're talking about, right? And this is Paul Williams we're talking about. Okay? So I just wanted to say, you know, the event, which is becoming one of the boxing's annual must-attend attractions, saw the fighters reunite and embrace 15 years on from Martinez edging Williams by a majority decision in their first bout. From the Argentine great scored one of the best knockouts of 2010, if not all, to stop Williams in 2 rounds in the 2010 return. Both fights were at the boardwalk, Atlantic City. So you see right here where it says Martinez edging Williams by a majority decision. Martinez being Sergio and Williams being Paul. Okay? That's what they said. I just, would like to get something straight when these people be putting articles out there. They say they edge Williams, right? So if I go to Paul Williams box rec, this is Paul Williams, 41-2, 27 knockouts, a hitter, a big hitter, aka the Punisher, southpaw, 6'1", y'all, 79-inch reach. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to North Augusta. If you go down here to their first fight, Sergio Martinez, back in December 5th, 2009, Williams won via majority decision. So, I just put that up there. I just read it and then allowed you to see for yourself. When you out here, you can't always believe media because, it's almost like they wanted to highlight Sergio Martinez twice when they actually had a rubber match. Paul Williams won the first. You know what I'm saying? They both dropped each other in the first fight where Paul Williams won a majority decision. And then, of course, the infamous when he knocked Paul Williams out in the second round and Paul Williams, went face first to the canvas. It was one of the most devastating knockouts you'll see, almost similar to that of Justin Gaethje and Max Bless Holloway. As you look up here, this was the last fight Paul Williams will have. February 18, 2012. He was rumored to potentially have a fight coming up to face Canelo Alvarez. All right. I just wanted to put that up there for y'all so you won't get confused. When you read some of this media, they're not taking their time. You know what I'm saying? They're not taking their time. See? Martinez edging Williams by a majority decision. That's incorrect. It says William had just 2 more contests before he was left wheelchair bound following a motorcycle accident. It goes on to say there were so many memorable things Calf said of this weekend hanging out with Nate Campbell, who broke my heart when he destroyed Kid Diamond, hanging out with Roberto Duran and stopping him from trying one of the world's hottest sauces during a group challenge. Joking around with James Toney, but also having a personal conversation about both of our fathers passing away at the same age of 65. Playing slot machines with Vito, driving Michael Spinks and his wife, Flo in my car, sharing so many laughs with my boxing crew, making new friends and memories. It was the 8th annual Atlantic City Boxing Hall of Fame and was held at Hard Rock Hotel and Casino. I just wanted to highlight, the individuals who was inducted. Special contributors who were enshrined included Randy Gordon, Samson Lekowicz, Buddy McGirt, Bruce Blair, Eric Baudier, and Guy Gargan. Posthumous inductees were Howard Davis, referee Eddie Cotton, Jay Larkin, and the pioneers were Eric Seelig and George Godfrey and Joey Giardello. I've heard a lot about this Atlantic City Boxing Hall of Fame, and it is picking up steam. A lot of people was talking about it. I'm looking forward to trying to attend, maybe one next year or something like that. I'm not sure, but I wanted to give a big shout out to Paul Williams. You know what I'm saying? Congratulations, and everybody else, all the other fighters that was inducted. You know what I'm saying? Good to see you out and about. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Team Punisher. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Jay. The OG. Salute to y'all up there in North Augusta, man. Keep on stepping. Keep on hitting the gym and training those fighters up there. Salute to y'all. For those of you that already know, there's a big undisputed, fight that's on the horizon. One that a lot of people are looking forward to, including myself. It's bigger than the silence that's surrounding this fight. It's way much bigger than that. I know we have two fighters that don't say much to the media in between fights, but Bivol is 23. Bivol is 23 and undefeated, 12 knockouts. Hold on. Bivol is 23 victories in, 0 defeats, and 12 knockouts. And Artur Beterbiev is 20-0 with 20 knockouts. One of the few fighters that you'll find with 100% knockout ratio. You know what I'm saying? And a real killer. A real killer. Beterbiev, his last win was coming off Callum Smith, February 13, 2024. He stopped him in the 7th round, broke him down. Callum Smith is a tall fighter himself. I remember when he was stepping in there with Canelo Alvarez, and I really thought Canelo would have problems with a 6'3" fighter like Smith with a 78-inch reach. You know what I'm saying? To Canelo, when you think about it, Canelo's 5'7.5" with 70.5-inch reach. But we all seen how it played out. But back to these two light heavyweights. It's definitely a fight that people want to see because you're talking about two O's on the line. Somebody O must go. But not only that, it's the fact that, Beterbiev is 39 and Bivol is 33. You have Bivol, who's the WBC light heavyweight champion and IBO. And then you have Artur Beterbiev, who has, the WBA, my bad, the WBA, Dmitry Bivol. And Artur Beterbiev is the IBF, WBC, and the WBO light heavyweight champion. So this is for undisputed, which is going to turn out to be real electric. It's going to be unbelievable, in my opinion. It's going to be a much more exciting fight than people give credit to by talking about it, the way they are. It should be much more talk, include myself. You know what I'm saying? The fight should be spoken on with much more enthusiasm, you know what I'm saying? Excitement value, because this is a well-matched fight. I hear everybody giving their breakdowns and all that. It's going to be over there in Riyadh season, over in the Sandbox. And it's going down October 12th, 2024, y'all. October 2024 for 12 championship rounds, 2 undefeated fighters. I know everybody giving their breakdowns, which none of them really know what the breakdown consists of unless you freaking teaching fighters, period. That's just the way I feel. But you have 2 different style fighters. Both are proven, tested, tough fighters. For me, I'm gonna be honest with you, y'all. It's just me stylistically talking about distance, range, and pretty much accuracy. A big part of me, want to go with Artur Beterbiev because I saw him fight finally in person versus Joe Smith, and I was impressed, man. But with this type of matchup, I'm leaning towards Dmitry Bivol to be victorious over Beterbiev. That's difficult for me because when it comes to these fighters like Bellaby, you know, you got the Khabib, the Magomedovs, and all that, man. It's just hard for me to even go against Bellaby. But I think Dimitri Bivol, if he has a performance that he had and then some, like he did Canelo, I think he'll be able to put some rounds away and outbox Bellaby. We're gonna have to see. I've been wrong before, and shit. By the time the fight, I might change my mind. God damn it, because it's not legal. It's not illegal for me to change my mind. It is not illegal for me to change my mind for real. So my mind may change from today up to the fight. Real talk. I ain't gonna lie to you. Let's keep it moving. Shout out to the Boxing Voice, right? This is where I extracted this from. It says Teofimo Lopez reveals he has not made more than 1 million for any fight yet. He was on It Is What It Is. He said, yo, I haven't yet to even make more than $1 million in every fight. When I fought Lomachenko in that time in COVID, everybody was talking about he gave me 800 grand on top of whatever. No, never did. I came back home with 460,000. After everything, fighting number one pound for pound over Crawford and Canelo. And then when it came to Josh Taylor, I came home with probably 7-8 grand. 700-800 grand. Now, I'm not going to say to you that it makes sense and really drops in line with what I've been saying about Teo desperately trying to get a big fight. You know how they always was trying to say, you know, that Crawford's trying to get a payday and all that. I mean, I don't hear the same energy, nor did I expect to hear the same energy about this. Some of these fighters can reveal to you the straight up truth, and they still don't look at it as anything being negative. But yet, a fighter call out Canelo, he's trying to get a payday. But yet, Teo's up here calling out fighters that I don't think he really want to fight. And it's all because he haven't made $1 million payday. So in one breath, he's saying, you know, hey, so-and-so say they're the best. I want to fight the best. No, you want a payday. Because you had to come off, you know, with the truth. You had to get that burden off your chest. It was heavy. I just got to be real for once in my life. I just got to keep it all the way authentic. That I haven't made $1 million yet. And you not making the Lomachenko, well, you know what, somebody or somebody close to you shouldn't have put the information out there if you didn't make what they were saying you was making at that point in time. You shouldn't have, the information never should have been allowed to leak out to the public. But it makes all the sense in the world to me long time ago. Like when he was doing that, like, think about it. How is he going to ever claim that he was the attraction? You know, something fell off really, really bad with Teofimo Lopez when it came to him marketing himself, branding who he was as a fighter. The takeover sound good, right? But he dropped off. You know where he dropped off? He dropped off in the gym preparing for the fights. That's where you dropped off at. Because your performances sucked. Your performances end up suck after Lomachenko. After Lomachenko, when you went in there with Kambosos, that was the beginning. You know what I'm saying? Just the fact that Floyd came in there and got y'all to move the fight out of Florida. You know, after you went to purse bid and then 2 other times the fight fell out. That was an omen that you was carrying around. That was an omen. Something that you have to get straight within your own. But your performances wouldn't add up. But yet, you know, you want to get mad because the crowd is booing you. And then you tell them to suck your D. But this is the same person who say he haven't made $1 million, but you telling the crowd to suck your D. How is that supposed to work? I thought you was a people person. I thought it was Jesus Christ. You know what I'm saying? You and Ron Garcia pretty much have done and said the same thing. You want to say Jesus Christ, and then telling somebody, Ron talking about he'll put his D in somebody's mouth, and you tell somebody suck your D. So, to be honest, I really don't care if you haven't made $1 million yet, because all these people that's clapping for you, they didn't know you haven't made $1 million. Why don't they come out and say, hey, T.O.'s trying to get a payday with Gervonta Davis. He's trying to get a payday with Terrence Crawford. But he's willing to go the monkey route. He's up to the monkey business just because he haven't had $1 million payday yet. The same people that was hating on Crawford for how he beat Spence, he's looking for $1 million payday as if they just gonna let that blow off to the side. What did Crawford say? You like a kid. You just do anything for attention. He was right. You just doing anything for attention. You in your 20s and you've already fallen off the path. As much as I hype T.O. up, he's already fallen off the path, bro. He's fallen off the path. You trying to tell me Devin Haney them came all the way from the rear and passed you up? Because if I'm not mistaken, I could have sworn he's made $1 million in a fight before. And just like I said, he also was able to white glove the whole entire division, something that T.O. wasn't able to do. And he's on the roster of the 4-belt, champions. I mean, the undisputed in the 4-belt era. He's on that roster. You're not. So you have to revamp or review how you're going to go about getting yourself back up there, because you got Ryan Garcia, who you was trying to emulate. But one thing Ryan's intellect is much higher than yours when it comes to catering to a lot more areas, just with general conversation. He's not dumb. Ryan Garcia isn't dumb. Now, if he selects to play dumb, that's a different story. But he has a lot more knowledge than I gave him credit for. That doesn't take him off from being the Duck Masters Coalition, pound for pound fighter. But he's not stupid. You know what I'm saying? He's not stupid. So he trumps you in that. And then Ryan Garcia, can play to the crowd because of his looks. He can go on here with his mascara on, his foundation, get his hair all highlighted and done up. And he can play to the women or whoever he's doing to. And he don't have a problem with doing suspect shit sometime. That's where he trumps you out too. And then third, T.O., where Ryan leaves you in the dust is his fan base. He's made $1 million. And for you, I know that hurts because he hasn't earned a title. You know what I'm saying? He was just the interim WBC champion. You know what I'm saying? But he has a larger following than you. But yet you up here talking about monkey business. See, the difference between you and Ryan Garcia, he made that racist rant when he was suspended. And, he had already, been in there with Gervonta Davis and Devin Haney for a nice little paycheck. You, on the other hand, you haven't got to that point where you can say you made 10 million, 15 million. So what are you saying to the public? You haven't made $1 million per fight yet, but yet you ready, talk about some monkey business to think that's going to get you there? That's not going to get you where you want to be, bro. I mean, just knowing that, let's just say Crawford was listening to this. Let's just say Tank was listening. I'm not even going to bring Tank into this because you already know how he moves. Tank is not going to accommodate you at 140, period. So let's just look at how Crawford already stated his case. And also, you have to understand, this man is not going to even think about giving you a chance, man. The grace is square with him. He don't give a fuck about if you haven't made $1 million. When you disrespect a man who's let's just start with the man in general and a professional fighter second, and his achievements third. Man is a father first. All of that. But yet you said whichever one get to the damn banana first. Bro. And you have me made $1 million a fight, and you expect him to come back around and so-called bless you with his presence just to get you a paycheck? He's not going to give you that Canelo Hallmark invite so you can RSVP. He's not going to do that for you. You have to find some other way. You're still in your 20s. You have to find some other way to grab that ladder and see if it's high enough for you to start climbing and get that big fight. Now, if you and Ryan Garcia are such good friends, why don't you give him a fight? Why don't you ask him to give you a fight? That's what you need. You know what I'm saying? Ask Ryan Garcia, who's been in there with Tank and Devin, to give you a fight. Then you can get the $1 million payday that you want. Move up there and fight Mario Barrios or something. You know what I'm saying? A Mexican, El Azteca, you know what I'm saying, against, the bend over. I don't know where we at with it right now. Fight somebody that's up there at 147 pounds. Fight somebody that you consider a friend that may consider giving you a payday like Ryan Garcia. You know what I'm saying? But nobody feels sorry for you. Nobody feels sorry. Teofimo Lopez said, boxing is a sport. Please stop trying to make the business more important than us fighting for the best against the best. Well, I don't know who he's talking about. Make boxing great again. But it seems like you're trying to make getting paid great again. You're trying to basically set yourself up in a position where you're going to browbeat somebody to give you an opportunity to grace the square with them. You saying this, please stop trying to make business more important than us fighting. It is about the business. Or else you never would have went the purse bid when you was fighting Cambozo. So don't try to say, please stop trying to make the business more important than us fighting the best. Yeah, well, guess what? Guess what you selected to do? Guess what you selected to do, buddy? You selected to fight Cambosis. That's what you selected to do. You selected to fight Cambosis when Devin Haney was a bigger name. You had the chop. You had the choice, either fight Haney or Cambozo. You went and fought Cambozo. You're mandatory because you thought it was going to be a lick. And then you go over there and blame it on Top Rank. And you say you thought you won the fight 11-2. So you have some areas in your past where you're just going to have to figure that out. You're going to have to reconfigure that as you proceed forward on how you're going to get another fight like that. Now, one thing that I mentioned, I wasn't trying to bring his name up, that you may need to fight, and y'all need to stop just denying, because I heard you turn down some money from Turk for Devin Haney. Why would you turn down, supposedly, if you're complaining, bitching, and moaning about having not made $1 million? Why did you turn down the fight with Haney? I'm just curious. Like, it's not like you have the belts anymore. That's gone. And then Devin has already picked up every belt you can hold at the 135-pound division, and also he's pretty much equaled you, besides the lineal, by moving up to 140 and earning a title in the WBC sanctioned body, as well as yourself in the WBO. So right now, even with him coming off, the type of fight with Ryan Garcia, you have two very interesting selections. You have the Devin Haney that you could have fought, that people would have wanted to see, because you had the opportunity to go behind Ryan Garcia, somebody who nuts you was stroking, and you could have got down, say, let me prove to y'all that it didn't matter if Ryan Garcia was on ostrich, since that's your boy that you took a picture with after he went on a racist tirade. And then you have Ryan Garcia, who also you could fight, that has a large following. Ryan Garcia, a following is larger than yours, T.O., and Devin puts together. So why wouldn't you want to fight Ryan Garcia? Once again, you could go in there for a fight and finally make your millions. Even though it won't be for a title shot, because I know damn well Ryan Garcia is not going to be able to make 140. So you have to make a decision on whether you're going to stay at that division or move up. 147 is there. There's so much to do at 147, especially if two primary players move up who was both unified champions of 135. Both of y'all have a history, but yet you don't want to fight Haney. I don't know why. That would be the perfect time, being that he, was involved in the type of performance that didn't go well for him. So you can go in there, and the Hispanics would have got behind you, tooth and nail. God damn it, they would say, "Cool, T.O. Go in there and show that Haney was talking that shit and all this, and he's not." You had the perfect opportunity to jump through that window when Haney was coming off a tough fight. But something tells me your mental process ain't linking up. Y'all busy up here trying to trot around and wave pom-poms on the side of the road for a Terrence Crawford fight, and that shit ain't happening. Maybe you should try a local pond he fish in. Maybe you can get his attention then when he's got them boats out there on the water and he's fishing. Maybe your dumb ass up there swimming around and shit with a goddamn fan on your back. You can get his attention then. See how much I want to fight you, Crawford? I even came to your favorite fishing hole. Come on, Crawford. Please stop trying to make the business more important than us fighting. Come on, bud. You know I was playing. I don't think it's going to work out like that, man, because when he started mentioning your name, his whole demeanor changed. His whole motherfucking demeanor changed. I had to goddamn pause the motherfucking video and walk the fuck out the room. I said, I'm not going to be a part of this. It's like he about to commit a goddamn crime or something. I had to back the fuck up and go do something else for a minute. That's when he started talking about you, T.O. You might want to think about that. Don't try to make it all about business now. No. We don't want to talk about no business now. Because when you fought Kambosos, you went to purse bid and it was all about the business. You even tried to negotiate with Lomachenko, all about the business. Well, it's still about the business when you're trying to get a payday with Crawford. And look, how and why do you think you're deserving to step in there and you haven't even made a freaking million? I'll tell you why. Because these Hispanic fighters believe that they're Edgar Berlanga. T.O. would say, well, look at Canelo. He gave Edgar Berlanga, and Edgar haven't made, $1 million like me. Well, goddamn it, let me tell you something. Terrence Crawford is not Canelo Alvarez. Even though he have people like yourself clout chasing him. I don't know if y'all think black people are just acutely naive and just brush everything off when it comes to other, races or ethnicities. But when you talk that monkey shit, you know what I'm saying? I don't know how in the hell you think someone's gonna show you empathy and say, yeah, let me get him in the ring because I'm upset with him. No, he's gonna try to say, fuck him, starve, know what it's like to be at the bottom. Scrape that shit with your nails and get that goddamn food and that residue. That's gonna be what you eating. I don't give a fuck about all that. You want to talk about you ain't made $1 million? What I supposed to do? Feel some type of way about it? I mean, you went the wrong way, and then you even took more shots by basically saying a bunch. That bunch, like we was a group of whatever, and y'all. that means you have something in your heart right now. You feeling a certain way. And like I said, allegedly, it might be something dealing with a personal matter. I don't know. I don't know. That chocolate dipstick might have went in there. You know what happened when you put a drop of chocolate and that goddamn vanilla is twirling around? You put just a droplet of chocolate in that motherfucker. That motherfucker is never the same. You just put another droplet of goddamn chocolate in that vanilla. It's never the same, yo. It would never, no matter how you stir it clockwise or counterclockwise, that shit is gone. I don't know, brother. I can understand where you can feel some type of way, bro. That you just feel some type of way about blacks. I get it, man. You ain't the only one to be mad at us for some shit. You know, but in this case right here, I'm gonna let it go. I'll talk about you another day. I'll talk about you another day because it's not even worth it right now. You know what I'm saying? To continue. I'm giving you too much airtime, man. And then, you know, my airtime, Teofimo, is not going to get you that $1 million payday you're looking for. You feel me? It's not going to get you that $1 million payday. Unfortunate for you. I hope you get it figured out, big dog. For real. Let's get to the UFC 307 because this is about to be a banger. It's gonna be a banger. Yeah. Let me see. So let me take this down right quick. Take you over here to UFC 307. Alex Pereira versus Khalil Roundtree. And this right here is the fight card. I want to take you down to the first of Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, Joaquin Buckley. You know what I'm saying? Thompson, still at welterweight, decorated kickboxer. Him and his family. Oh my God. Countless upon countless, man. You know what I'm saying? Buckley had one of the most beautiful highlight reel knockouts that you would ever see in mixed martial arts. From someone attempting to parry a kick to being kicked in the head and knocked out. One of the most beautiful reverse kicks that you would ever see in mixed martial arts. He's going in there. Thompson versus Buckley. That should be a hell of a fight. And we're talking about the main card, y'all. This is the main card. All right. Kayla Harrison, two-time right here. Two-time Olympic champion Kayla Harrison. PFL tournament champion. $1 million per tournament. She's going in there against Caitlin Vieira. This is going to be a nice fight, but I really believe that Kayla Harrison's judo is going to play heavy because it does deal with grappling. It does with controlling your opponent's movement, you know, in the clinch especially. Even though she competed heavy with the gi, it don't matter, man. That judoka, that wizard, you know, throws and everything. I'm not saying it can't be countered with take down the fence, and even you know, opponents that may be heavy on jiu-jitsu. You know, you can never reject the quality of technique that BJJ presents that someone can learn to basically combat a very high level judo practitioner. You know what I'm saying? But this is going to be a very, very solid fight. And this is going to be at the bantamweight division, which is 135 pounds, y'all. Yes. Just think about it. In boxing, the bantamweight division is 118 pounds. In mixed martial arts, the bantamweight division is 135 pounds. You know what I'm saying? But it's going to be a nice one. I'm going to skip over that one. The legend himself, Jose Aldo, 32-8. And though Jose has had some very bright moments, I'm talking about very championship, legendary, Hall of Fame worthy moments in his career. A lot of people remember him being knocked out by Conor McGregor in 13 seconds. And some people thought it was fake, and all it wasn't fake. It probably still hunts Aldo to this day. But he's going in there against a tough Mario Bautista, man. I mean, look at this, y'all. Jose Aldo at this point is 38 years of age, y'all. 38 years of age. And then you have Bautista. Bautista's 31 years of age. A 7-year difference. You feel me? So Aldo has some miles on him, because all you have to do is look at this guy 14-2. And then you go back to Aldo, and you're talking about much more high-level competition. 32-8, yo. 32-8. Imagine all the experience in its totality that Jose Aldo has been a part of in his Hall of Fame career. We can just take a stroll down here. You know what I'm saying? Because he did go to boxing a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Nothing to talk about. But, you know, he had his moments. Versus Munoz, Marlon Vera, Petrian, Marlon Moraes, you know, Alexander Volkanovski, who was just on a tear at 145 pounds. Renato Moiciano, you know what I'm saying? Jeremy the Heathen Stevens, you know, losing to Max Bless Holloway twice. You know, this is the downside of his career. The Answer, Frankie Edgar, and then, of course, Conor McGregor, the notorious one. Look at all these names. Chad Mendez, man. Ricardo Lamas. Chung Sung Jung. You know what I'm saying? The Answer, Edgar again. This is when he was on a run, y'all. Look at all that green up in there. Chad Mendez, Kenny Florian. Come on, man, the old school. Mark Hominick. You know what I'm saying? Manny Gambarian, bro. Little short, compact hitter. Uriah Faber, former WEC champion. This is when we was in the WEC. Look at all the people that you saw in the UFC. Mike Brown. Mike Brown reigned as champion for a long time. Redhead. Mike Brown. Tough fighter. Cub Swanson. One of my favorite fighters. Tough as hell. You know what I'm saying? Jonathan Brookins. Who else on here? But yeah, man. He was on the run. He was on the run for a minute. You know what I'm saying? What a career. He was on the run for a long time, and nobody could beat him. You know? Let's move on to the co-main event. Raquel Pennington is the champion. It took her such a long time in her career to become champion, but she finally did it when the competition filtered its way out and so forth. You know, 36 years of age, Raquel Pennington is at the top of the championship pier. You know, I'm kind of happy for Raquel. I don't too much favor her style, to be honest with you. If you come down here and look at some of the big names, she lost to Holly Holmes, Jermaine Rondame, Amanda Nunes, you know, but she has some notable wins, right? Against Misha Tate, former champion, you know. Beth Carrera, another freaking Brazilian fighter. Jessica Andrade, former champion. You know, she had her share of fights that's memorable, you know. Juliana Pena, the Ultimate Fighter winner, the Venezuelan vixen, 10-5. You know, she's 35 years of age. She's had her share of you know, injuries that she had to recover from and so forth. But of course, she lost to Amanda Nunes, the lioness herself, one of the best women's mixed martial artists of all time. She lost that fight. And then she had a fight where she beat Amanda Nunes via rear naked choke. She just couldn't do it 2 times. You know, Amanda Nunes beat the brakes off her, you know, in the second fight, you know. She couldn't get shit started. Sarah McMahon, Rondeme, Nico Montano. It's a crazy story about Nico Montano because she came in there and she had picked up a belt. If I'm correct, it's the same. And it was at 125, and she had won the belt, and then she found out she had to face Valentina Shevchenko, in her next fight. So she did the freaking, signing the autographs and all that leading up to the fight, meet and greets. And then when it came time to get ready for the fight, she talking about she came down ill. They stripped her of the title too. They saying she was scared to step in there and take that whooping against Valentina Shevchenko and get knocked out with a head kick. Valentina Shevchenko right here. This is Julia Pena, right? She went in there against Kat Zingano, Jessica I mean, some very solid names. So if you're looking at Julia Pena, resume and Pendleton, she has a slight edge, but Pendleton's still one of the vets when it comes to the women. She's still one of the vets. I ain't gonna lie to you. She's still one of the vets. And then, of course, the main event, man. I have to take my hat off to Alex Pereira, 11-2. This guy right here is a freaking legend in combat sports, man. Real talk. When he first came on the scene, I wasn't too impressed with him. I know he had his kickboxing luxurious glory career. Him and Izzy Adesanya had their rivalry, where he had knocked him out. He had his 2 knockouts, I believe. So, while he was still in kickboxing, Israel Adesanya was over here in the UFC, making a name for himself and ended up being world champion. And he beat some incredible names too. What I'm saying? Brad Tavares, Robert Whitaker. He had a lot of names on his list. And finally, the word was that the UFC was fast tracking Pereira to face Izzy Adesanya. And when he went in there, we already seen what happened. So, Alex Pereira, the champion at light heavyweight, is fighting Khalil Roundtree. It's 13-5. Khalil Roundtree is 13-5. Now, Khalil is a very extremely tough individual. It's just he has to prove that mentally, when it comes to making adjustments or fighting through adversity, he's able to do that with an assassin like Alex Pereira. Pereira is absolutely a closer, man. He is absolutely a closer. He knocked out Yuri Prochaska twice, man. He came in here saying he was a samurai, and Pereira shut that shit down, bro. I'm not gonna lie, he shut that shit down. And he did have his 5th round stoppage of freaking Israel Adesanya, but Adesanya was able to avenge that too and knock Pereira out. But Pereira, if you look at his record, right, when he lost to Adesanya, then you had Juan Blachowicz, which, look over here, this was the light heavyweight division. So he went up there and fought a Juan Blachowicz, who was the former light heavyweight champion, right? Beat him, all right? And this will lead to him facing the samurai, Yuri Prochaska, for the what? UFC vacant light heavyweight championship. Because Jamal Hill came down with an injury. Jamal Hill is the next guy right here, was the current champion until he came off the belt, because he had an injury. So he goes in there and knocks out Yuri Prochaska, right? Then he steps in there with the former champion, Jamal Hill, who was super hyped up by that fight. And I think Pereira was in his head big time, bro. This dude was just on an adrenaline high that, people say when you're that full of adrenaline prior to the fight, you're going to lose the actual fight. And Pereira went in there and knocked him out in the first round with a beautiful left hook. Beautiful left hook, man. Then, when you know, Yuri Prochazka, he gets another opportunity. He first fought back in November 11, 2023. He comes back early this year, June 29th, and gets a rematch. The first fight, he was stopped in round 2, 4 minutes and 8 seconds. And then he was stopped in round 2 with 13 seconds. You know, and both of these were knockouts. The first fight, he was knocked out, left hook to hammer fists and elbows. And then Pereira came up there and head kicked Prochazka. I mean, crazy. Head kicked him, bro. So, not to mention, Pereira is a 2-division champion. 2-division. A middleweight champion and a freaking light heavyweight champion. And he's an absolute warrior, too. I mean, he got one of the most warrior-esque ring walks that you will see. You know what I'm saying? In a combat sport where warriors about to go in there and fight. He has one of the best ring walks you'll see. When he pulled back that bow, you know, that they're hunting with, yeah, that shit's cool. But yeah, this is Alex Pereira. You know what I'm saying? He is absolutely a legend of the game of combat sports. He's 37 years of age, as you see right here, and he's still winning. Will Khalil Roundtree be able to go in there and expose? Because he's not that young either. Look at Khalil Roundtree. Khalil's not that young either, bro. Khalil is 34 years of age. He's getting up there too. You know, can Khalil sit up here and shock the world and dethrone Alex Pereira and become world champion for the first time in the UFC? That's what the people want to know. Can Khalil finally step up and seize the moment when it most matters in the UFC? I'm rooting for him, but of course, I'm going for Alex Pereira. I'm going for Alex Pereira. I just think he's a more all-around fighter. He's bigger, and he has that kickboxing background. And dude, they put shorts out there on Alex Pereira. They have shorts out there, bro. You know what I'm saying? They have shorts out there with him kicking motherfuckers, you know? But definitely tune in to UFC 307 for this incredible fight card tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Pereira versus Roundtree in a 5-round, 5 minute per round championship headliner. And the co-main event is going to be Raquel Pennington against Juliana Pena. That's going to be the championship main event. And Pennington is going to be defending her bantamweight title against former champion Pena. You know what I'm saying? So y'all stay nice and tucked in for that. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the OG, Mr. Golden on deck. I see you. Mr. International Toby Bartlett on deck, man. What it do, Toby? Tough Glove Boxing in the building. What it do, Tough Glove? How you feeling, man? Big Blunts and Boxing in the building. He said it's Freak Off Friday. Damn. Y'all ain't gonna let that man go to trial and let him have his peace. Man, fuck him, man. Shit. You know what I'm saying? Forget all that. Mike on deck. Dan Tan on deck. I wonder if Tio is saying this far. I wonder if Tio is saying this for the benefit of his ex-wife. Maybe she's looking for a payout from Tio. Who knows? I mean, either way, he got that child support. But I don't, to be honest, even though he said what he said, yes, it's easy to be like, get personal with somebody, right? And talk shit about the family. But, I'll go as far to say, him getting a divorce, if it was because he found out she might be dating somebody that allegedly might be black, that may be fueling his anger issues toward black. Who knows? I mean, you're the one always going around here quoting Tupac and Rosa Parks. You know what I'm saying? Like, look, check this out. I know the ones who's been around for a minute understands where I'm at with it. Check this out. Check this out. Peep this. Y'all remember when I was telling you all that Ryan Garcia was turning the corner because he wanted to cater to the culture. He felt that he needed to expand his fan base and he needed to, bring on the black fan base to support him. And he started to slowly but surely make that transition when he fought Javier Fortuna. I was telling you all this at the press conference. I say he's no longer wearing the suits no more. That goofy shit, he showed up to a fight dressed up in a freaking tie, and he found that shit wasn't going to work for him, to be the good guy, the goofy, nerdy guy. It wasn't going to work for his image. He needed to come out and be the villain. Every fighter wants to somehow pick up the image of a villain, but they don't know how to go about it, yo. They don't know how to be a villain. It takes more than a bitch ass nigga, hoe ass nigga, I knock your ass. It takes more than that. And believe it or not, Ryan Garcia, he showed how to become a villain in many faces than 5, 6, 7. He shows you many different ways on how you're gonna have to commit to certain things where when it comes to black fighters, they're not willing to go to the depths of Ryan Garcia because they know that they will be looked at differently. That's a fact. But I told you all that Ryan was turning the corner when he wasn't going to wear those suits no more, and he wanted to connect with the culture. He did it when he fought Javier Fortuna. That's the first time he came out in a crew neck sweater, dressed down. He had a nice little neck piece on him. That's when he started to try to cater to the freaking culture, and him and Fortuna was up there passing snapback caps to each other as gifts and shit. From then on, Ryan has tried his best to connect with the culture. People see him got his ass whooped by Javante, but yeah, he was up here, after the fight, staying close and getting whatever he can, soaking in whatever he can from Tank. And ever since then, he's been on his mission to be the villain. And a lot of people are not going to be able to match up to Ryan Garcia being the villain because he's willing to go to crazy depths in being an actor, acting a motherfucking fool. When it comes to Teofimo Lopez, he doesn't have that type of skill set. He doesn't have the forte that Ryan Garcia does to put on a show like that. He can't do it. He hasn't tried to do it. So it's easy for somebody to be a hateful little bitch. It's easy for that. It's easy for you to go out here and be hateful and be demeaning, insulting someone. That's easy. But with Garcia, he was up here putting on a motherfucking acting job. That's how he selected to become the villain. Always talking about one breath, it's religious. The other breath, he's talking about all that dumb shit. Tio is trying his best to emulate what Garcia did. Point blank. He went on a racist rant, and they say, what's going to happen? They ain't going to do shit to me. I'm just going to say something about the monkeys. They're not going to care. I didn't say the blacks. And he still wouldn't admit to it on It Is What It Is podcast. He said the bunch or y'all. I was expecting Cameron and Mace to press him a little bit more aggressively than they did, instead of just laughing it off. See, blacks laugh that shit off, but we call each other bitch ass nigga all the time, and motherfuckers be talking about they wanted to goddamn fight you when they see you. You know what I'm saying? But these non-black people say things that's derogatory and offensive to us, And then motherfuckers want to, look at it like, hey man, stop wilding, dog. Come on, man. You gotta be cooler. You gotta be cooler. Come on, let it ride, man. You gotta be more cooler. Chill. Chill. He on the podcast talking about chill. Chill for what? That shit ain't going nowhere fast, bro. Real talk. That shit he was talking about. People remember. It's not gonna go anywhere fast, man. People are not gonna forget that monkey shit anytime soon because what Tio really want to say is that they say it to each other. I can pull up somebody's video where they saying to each other. He's gonna think just because it's been said to one another or two black individuals, it's okay for him to use it in a derogatory way to say, well, I'm calling y'all monkeys and go which one of y'all gonna get the banana first? No, you're not gonna get a fight that way. You're not gonna get a fight. Nobody's gonna feel sorry for you and your pops. You know what I'm saying? And all that shit. No, man, it ain't that type of party. You ain't messing, Crawford's no bum. He ain't no stupid, fighter that's out here trying to give away charity. All because you want to disrespect him and get compensated for it. I get it. But hey, y'all hold it down. Shout out to the hottest chat in the MF and game. We should do it again. Until next time, peace.